guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tiffany for those of you who are new, so welcome. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I wanted to come on here and talk about must-have travel items when you are traveling with your baby. Our daughter just turned 1 a couple days ago, and I realized we've been on 5 or 6 trips, which is kind of crazy, and we just went on our first international vacation with her as well when she was 10 months old. But we started traveling when she was 3 months old, and we actually did pretty well, and I feel like we had everything that we really needed, but there was definitely some things that we've learned over our first few trips that would have been nice to have. And honestly, we went on this last vacation, which was international. I feel like everything was perfect, and we actually truly honed in on what was worth having and what our essentials were. So I wanted to come on and make this video for any new parents out there, or if you're about to take your first vacation with your baby. Maybe this video will help you and make you realize oh, maybe we should try that out, or maybe that would also make our life easier. I just want this to be a resource and to help out anyone that was in the same position we were. So before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you would like to see more videos like this. And let's jump into my list. Okay, so item number 1 that I think is a travel essential, especially when you have a baby. Once they're a little bit bigger, I don't think this is necessary, but a collapsible bathtub. So the first 2 vacations we took, she was 3 months and 4 months, and we did do the typical roll some towels, bathe her in the sink. However, she quickly became a little bit too big, and some of the hotel sinks are just way too small, and it felt like it would just be easier to have a similar setup to what we do at home, especially because it is a brand new environment. And we tried doing a bath for her in the big tub, and she was not a fan. So keeping it as close to home as possible honestly made our lives easier. And they collapsed so honestly pretty flat. We travel pretty light. I'm pretty sure we always take 2 big suitcases and 1 carry-on and then our diaper bag every time we've traveled, unless it was international on that international trip. But generally my husband and I can fit our stuff into 1 big suitcase that's checked, and then we can get everything else into hers. So honestly, keep this in mind. We're not very heavy packers, so I know this seems like a lot, but there's a lot of things I feel like you can leave at home, which that could be a separate video, I feel like, for next time. Also, I will make sure to link everything that we personally use down below in the description box if you want to check it out. I do make a small commission, and by small I mean it's probably cents, but if it helped you out and you want to help support me, I do greatly appreciate it, because brands also do look at that kind of stuff. So next on the list was, we use these Milton's bottle sanitizer tablets. I know you can get liquid, but the tablets are just easier to travel with for this purpose, because we could just drop them into the collapsible bowl. So every night we would sanitize my pump parts, bottles, all of the things, and we loved these sanitizer tablets. I will say, they always say on them that you do not need to rinse, but I feel like it kind of leaves a residue, so we always rinse after. That's our only gripe with them, but they do work really well. Next, with the collapsible bowl type things, we did take a collapsible bowl for washing and sterilizing bottles, just because you obviously need something to do that in, because we didn't want to use the sink. A lot of the times, most hotel rooms we would stay in, they just had the 1 sink, and obviously if you have more than 1, you can obviously use 1, but every time we went anywhere, and I think most people when they travel just have the 1 sink, so a collapsible bowl was a must for us when we wanted to sanitize everything. Next with that, I would say a travel bottle soap. We just use the I think Dapple, but you can use anything. And on the travel soap kick, we do also keep our own brand on us. This is Saver Suds. This is a brand that myself and my husband launched out of our own need, honestly. It's just so we can always wash our hands, or if you need to clean something on the go, at the airport or something. It is a all-purpose liquid hand soap. This is my one that is for my purse. I love Cherry Berry. I love them all. Obviously, I created them all, but Cherry Berry, Fruity Citrus, and Botanical Blend are my personal faves. The other ones are nice as well. I'm just more of a fruity kind of girl. So always keep this on us because I hate having dirty hands if like you go to the bathroom and they're out of soap. And I also didn't like the thought of just using just hand sanitizer on my hands and then like holding and changing and all of the things like our infant daughter. It just didn't feel great. Obviously, it's fine. You do you, but prefer to keep this on us. It just comes in handy all the time. Next, with that, we also always have pump and pacifier wipes. I can link the brand. It might just be the Mom Cozy brand. I don't remember, but I will have them linked down below. They come in handy all the time. They don't leave like a weird residue or anything like that, but super handy to keep on you. Next travel essential for us is our Tush Baby. I feel like, I don't know if they're just not that common. I think most people use a regular carrier, which we used a regular carrier on our very first trip. We went to Disney and I liked that regular carrier because it had like a little canopy for it and it did rain and that was really nice and handy. However, the Tush is so much comfier for your baby and you, and I like that you don't have to have it like all like strapped in. You can just use just the seat and like support, which she loves whenever she like wants to actually like, look around and everything like that. I will say at the airport, when we wear her through security, we haven't had issues until our way home from our international trip in Philadelphia. Honestly, the dude was so rude, but it has 2 pockets and they acted like it had like all of these pockets and we had to take it off, unstrap. It was a whole ordeal and we almost missed our flight because of it. But I feel like they should be more popular because honestly, I swear by that carrier. We've tried a few and nothing beats the Tush. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Other travel essentials, a stroller fan, just because even if you don't think it's going to be hot, you never know. Places could be like maybe their AC is not working or you end up being in the sun longer than you think. There's just always keep a stroller fan. Honestly, we always keep 2 just in case. With that, we also travel with our Hatch Go. I feel like most people travel with a sound machine or something like that. Definitely a huge travel essential. So I just want to reiterate that one. Next, when I was still pumping, every single trip that we've been on, I've been pumping actually, now that I think about it. The Mom Cozy cooler. Love it. Swear by it. It honestly does stay cool. The hardest part was keeping it cold still when you get to your destination, and because obviously you don't have your freezer like at home, and a lot of hotel freezers like in the little mini fridge, honestly they just suck. So what we would do is put it in ice and then in there a lot of the times, and that would usually do the trick and it would be good for however long we were out and about. But really love that Mom Cozy cooler. Next, I would say obviously my Mom Cozy pumps. I also really loved, I've seen a lot of discourse about wearable pumps that people like hate, love, all of that. I will link my specific ones down below, but I really loved them. I didn't have any issues. I exclusively pumped for 11 months. Oh my God. I only wanted to make it 6, but I did 11 months and never had issues. I think I had to change like the flange, all of that kind of stuff about halfway through that. I don't know if you're supposed to do more often, but I did about halfway through that. Never had issues. I will say, if you have a larger bust already, they're a little out there, even more because they are pretty big. If you don't, then it's probably not an issue. But next, this one is obvious, but pacifier strings. And I would have like 2 to 3. Those are definitely an essential if your child is throwing everything, plus you just don't want their passy to fall onto the floor and then you're constantly cleaning it. So obviously you want to minimize that. This one was a game changer for us because our daughter hates car rides, and one of our trips, our flight got canceled and we ended up driving all the way to Marco Island, Florida. And like I said, she hates car rides. So luckily my husband had just bought her like this car seat toy. I'll link it down below, but it just like clips to the sides and she plays with it. She loves it. It has like a little mirror and all the things. I'll link it down below, but if your child hates car rides, you might try something like this if like typical toys and things like that don't work, because they did not for our daughter either. Next, we use and always keep on us Ziploc bags or some sort of bag in case your baby has a blowout, or if they just get like milk, food, whatever all over them and you need to change their outfit. But obviously you don't want to stick the dirty outfit, whatever it is, in to your diaper bag. You want to keep that separate. So we always keep a Ziploc bag, or they have like actual specific bags for like diapers and things like that. I think we have some that we got at my baby shower, so we either use those or a Ziploc bag, but super handy. And honestly, definitely keep that on. We learned our lesson. I think like day 2, we had like a check-in for her and she had a blowout, and we were like, where do we put the dirty outfit? So yeah, you live and you learn. Maybe you already knew that, but that I wish we would have realized it like right off the rip. Okay, I just have a couple more formula containers. We did take formula with us on our international trip, so we took 2 huge cans with us and checked luggage, but we had these little containers that I will have linked that you can put each serving in, and it just takes up less space and it's a lot easier because then you can just use it, change the top so the next one's ready to go. And then something else that was like game changing for us, especially when she was little, if your baby is big enough for this, if they're no longer being swaddled, the Merlin sleep suits, they're so good. And it really did, I feel like she hasn't slept as good since she was in her Merlin sleep suit. I know the phase generally, if it probably isn't super long, I think we only use them for maybe 3 months, if that, but they really are magic. I remember she was just a colicky, wouldn't sleep kind of baby, and once we were able to transition to those, we were able to start getting a little bit more sleep. So I almost forgot, there was one thing also that we loved. So we have the UPPAbaby travel system stroller, and one of the attachments that you can buy is the bassinet. Highly recommend that. It probably depends on your vacation, but if you're doing anything where you're out and about and walking, your baby is going to want to sleep, and that was game changing for us. We put our little hatch go in there, put the bassinet in there, she would sleep. It was great. She was comfy. Couldn't recommend. We also had to use it, I think, once for like a nap or something like that. I have like a cute photo of that, but love the bassinet attachment. I will say the UPPAbaby travel system stroller itself is heavy and it is obnoxious to have to take the wheels off. My husband does this, but it's obnoxious to have to take the wheels off to put it into the bag when you're gate checking it. It doesn't take like super long, but it takes probably like a couple minutes, and it's just annoying, you know, you have to do that. On our last trip, we did the Zoe travel stroller and love that one. It does fit in the overhead compartment, which was really awesome when traveling international, and if you have a tight connection, which we did, especially on the way home. Couldn't recommend that one enough. We do love our UPPAbaby. It is like so smooth. Love all of the room, all of the attachments, all of the things. The cup holder's trash. Sorry, Uppa, if you see this, that cup holder's trash. You need to do something about that. But especially for the price. The customer service is also amazing though. So it has good and bad. Obviously with strollers, I always recommend just going and trying them out, and you can kind of see like what works for family. But I would definitely recommend getting one that has a bassinet attachment. It's so good and just keeps your baby comfier. But yeah, so that is it for my must-have travel essentials when traveling with our baby. Let me know if you have any essentials. I would love to hear them. Can't believe our girl is now 1. So if you have any for a toddler, I would love to hear it. We've kind of tweaked some of these now that she's gotten a little bit bigger for our next trips, but I could also do a video of things that I think you could leave behind and do without if you would like that. But be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.